Hey, Richard, how you doing? Richard, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well.
Oh, okay. All right. That's
Far away.
You doing okay today?
Still here.
Still here. Well, that counts, you know?
That's my standard answer.
All right, let me close up some of these windows here a little bit. All right. Ah. So everybody have a pretty good lunch?
Yep.
Yep.
And leftover turkey soup.
Yeah, we've been having a lot of leftover turkey lately. Well, we had 5 people over for dinner total, and I went out and I had bought a turkey, almost a month ago, and got a 22-pound turkey. And,
Oh God.
yeah, 22 pounds of turkey for 5 people. We had a little turkey left
That's
over.
a lot of turkey.
Yeah, we sent everybody home with probably about 4 or 5 pounds of it, so everybody could have, have the same thing we're having, which is a challenge of inventing ways of, what are we going to do with this? So, but, it was good. It was good, I'm not, pardon?
So Brenda boiled the meat, the bones overnight,
Uh-huh.
and crushed some of it, and added whatever she had left over. Pretty good soup.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we did that too. Yeah, usually what I do is once all the meat is off of the actual carcass, the bones, all of that goes in a pot. It all gets cooked down slowly. You separate, whatever's left of the bones, and you can throw in some vegetables or rice or something. Make some great soup out of that stuff. And that way, nothing gets wasted. It's all, you ate the whole thing. Anyhow, let's see. We got a few minutes before. Yeah, we got about another 2 minutes before everybody's supposed to be here. So anything going on in life with you, Richard?
All quiet.
Well, that's not a bad thing.
I found a little bitty clock about this big. Had been stuck away for about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And I pulled it out, hung it up, wound it up, held it running like fine.
Huh. Okay. Is it, you said a clock, is it like a wristwatch?
No, it's a clock.
It's a clock.
That's to stick around.
Huh.
And it goes about 120 beats. I mean, it's really going like a bat out of hell.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, when I think of clocks, I think of something, bigger, because I guess the way that I use clocks is, you look across the room and see what time it is.
They come from watch size to this big.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I have, in my collection of arts and crafts furniture and stuff like that, I've got like 4 clocks that, the old pendulum clocks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do they run?
Yes, they do. Yeah, they all work. 2 of them I took down and had, basically restored and reworked. But yeah, I love those. I don't keep them running a lot these days because people living with you, it drives them crazy because of the, the chime and the tick-tock all day long.
Chime, okay, TikTok I can't stand.
Yeah, yeah. But, that's kind of the thing I loved about them is that, it's like there was always this kind of rhythm, in the house. And, the problem is, when you get 3 or 4 of them, they're not all in sync.
I used to fix them.
You used to fix them. Yeah, that's right. You did. Yeah, I think I talked to you about that. But Yeah, I love old clocks and stuff like that. They're really, really neat machines. So, all right. Well, guess what? It's time. Okay. Some people actually sent some work in, and I'm going to share that. And in fact, we're going to start with that. Okay. And then after that, we're going to move, depending on time, we're going to move in. I've got two videos lined up for you. Since we were talking about using acrylic paint, I've got one, on technique and 20 different ways of creating texture. It's about a 40-minute video. And then I have another video that I wanted to show you that was, it's the Stankey Gallery in New York. There's a guy who does sort of like art, I guess you would say art reviews, is like go, look at the art, meet the artist, talk to them, get some kind of ideas to what they're thinking, why they do the things that they do. And I thought that was an interesting video I wanted to share with you guys. But we're going to start off first with, let's see. Yeah, we're going to start off first with looking at the work that you sent in, and we'll talk about it, and then we'll go from there, okay?
Charles, last week I sent in a photograph of a piece I did because it was so dark on one side. Did you ever get it? It's of a dock.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think I did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. And it may be in this mix.
Well, it's fine. I just wondered if you got it. My computer's I couldn't get you this morning because it kept wanting me to launch a program and be the teacher of it. It wouldn't give me join you. I spent the morning trying to do that.
Wow.
Yeah,
went to the
yesterday
support.
you told me,
It's crazy.
told me about upgrade. So
Do
I
you have the schedule from Sabrina?
No, I used the schedule Charles sent.
No, but the one from Sabrina is more easier. It just
Well,
connects
it won't
you
work with
fast.
mine because I have a Safari and her computer doesn't work with mine, but Charles's does.
Okay.
I couldn't get in on Monday at all.
Oh, okay.
Me
Because
neither.
they hadn't sent me the new link.
yeah.
Oh, they hadn't sent out the new link on the class? Okay.
Mhm.
What is your name?
Jackie.
Lattimore.
Jacqueline Lattimore.
You were on the list. I mean, you're on my mailing list. I sent you I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I got your link. I guess I just didn't know how to get in. But I couldn't get in anyway.
Oh, okay.
All right. Okay.
Well, I just sent out the week's, classes.
Right,
And-
I wrote them all down.
Yeah. Well, you don't have, if you just, if you keep,
Go to the schedule.
yeah, you could do that, or you could keep that email somewhere or copy it. And then if you just copy and paste that link into your browser, it'll open up that link for you.
Oh, okay, I need to learn how to do that anyway. Okay.
It's, yeah. It's not terribly hard. Anyway, so let's get going. We're going to look at these. We don't really have a lot of work, but we've got a little bit, and depending on how long, we take to go through this,
Oh,
Anyway, so the first piece that I've got here, this is John Gigliotti, and he had sent this in about a week ago. Is John, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, okay. So what can you tell us about your meditating woman?
Well, I think I sent you many, many tries. This was the final
Mm-hmm.
of the group. I basically was trying to, the initial intent was fabric and the folds and the fabric.
Mm-hmm.
I had one of Kermit's classes where he was doing that, so I wanted to try that. So I found this picture, and I usually don't do figures either. So this was just a different approach to something that I keep wanting to try. So that's how this ended up. So it's a watercolor.
Okay.
I love those folds.
Yeah.
The what?
Now,
The
now you were
folds.
saying, now you sent me in several and you
Right.
did.
Right. This
Okay.
is the fine. This is the final one. Right.
Okay. Now let me try to understand what you're saying. So this image right here, and then I'm going to click on another one. And these are two totally different paintings.
No, they're the same painting.
They're the same painting. Okay. All right.
I'm not even sure which one you get. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I had two from you that I downloaded.
Yeah, I had issues with the light, and particularly the face area.
Mhm.
So that's where I was working, and the shadows in the figure and that. So you know, they're a little bit different on each of them.
Mhm.
This one was I thought a little too dark, and I think the first one you showed I lightened up a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But now they're on the same.
It's the same.
It's the same image or the same
Correct.
painting
Yes.
on the
thing.
same piece of paper.
Correct.
Yeah, you just reworked it and
Correct.
so now did you, because this was an earlier version,
Right.
did you go back and I guess you lifted out some
Correct.
of the,
Correct.
okay, so you must have been working on a pretty decent piece of watercolor paper to hold up to, you know, lifting those.
It's the standard 130 pounds Strathmore.
Okay, and you had it on a block or?
No, just taped on a board.
Okay, all right, yeah, so you taped it down. Okay, yeah, because it seems like you've wet the piece down quite a bit to get to here
Right.
from here.
Correct.
You know, yeah, that's a lot of work. You know, you're working kind of backwards, kind of lifting out.
Yeah. I did the initial piece in about 2.5 hours, and I think I spent another 6 hours after that trying to
Right.
lift out.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
It does. You know, it does. Yeah, that's usually with watercolor. You know, it's the kind of process that you start building up your values slowly, and if you get too enthusiastic about it and you get too dark and push things down too dark, it's kind of hard to come back from. You know?
Right.
So it's, you know, that's, I think one of the difficult things about watercolor is you just have to be very patient with it, you know, and it's always better to start off and, you know, have things a little too light and then kind of creep up on it and darken your values than it is to get real aggressive with it and darken stuff down and have to
I
go
found
back
that out.
Yeah. and lift
Yeah.
out.
So
Yeah.
did
Now the exception to that is if you, you know, if you're doing kind of a mixed media sort of approach to watercolor, where you've taken that piece of paper and you sealed it like with some gesso or something like that,
Mhm.
and you're doing that and you're intentionally, you know, doing that lift out technique, kind of like Bart Forbes, where
Right.
you would lay down the gesso, you know, let it dry, go back in, do like a line drawing and really kind of meticulously, you know, create shapes to represent your different kind of areas of value and then seal that and then go back in and lay like you could gradate the watercolor or whatever, but you start off dark and then you go back in and lift out. Because
Okay.
over that gesso surface, that watercolor is not going to sink into the paper, you know, the way it does with just straight
Correct.
watercolor.
Right.
And so, you know, you can always go back in and manipulate it and play with it and pull it back or add to it, you know, and go back and forth with it.
Right.
But again, you know, that's a little different approach to watercolor than most people take, which is, watercolor is generally thought of as an additive process. You keep adding to it rather than taking away from it. But my thought about this is, I like the subject. I like the way that, you've composed it. It's a very kind of quiet, kind of sedate feeling. The thing is, in looking at it, if I were going to do something like this, I like the neutral background here, and I like how you've carried some of the grays and things into the fabric. But when it comes to the skin tones in here, stay away from those neutral colors. Okay, like brown,
Okay. Right,
black,
okay.
things like
Right.
that. Don't use them. And the reason, the reason for that is because they really kind of kill the life, in the figure. Unless it's a kind of a monochromatic piece. I always try to use color, primaries and secondaries,
Yes. Right.
to build those skin tones. If you go into trying to use like siennas and browns and things like that, and I know, I know a fair amount of watercolor artists who do that, but what I find is in watching them, they've got to be really, really careful not to overstate things, because if they get too much of that in there, again, it just sort of kills the skin tone, and they end up with figures that they kind of look like they're made out of plastic or wood or something, but it doesn't feel like flesh.
In this case, would you suggested like more of the reds, purples,
Yeah.
blue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have, yeah. See, and this would be a great opportunity, because of the composition, and because, she's wearing a white garment or veil. The background is so neutral. Everything's so neutral in here that, that kind of begs for really, putting a lot of color, in on the skin tones, which, emphasizes those, because that's your subject. So,
Okay.
and so, think about that. And if you get really, really inspired, go back and maybe try it that way, with
Right.
using the color in the skin tones, and then really limiting the color in the rest of the
Right.
piece. Okay. And that will give
Okay.
you
Thank you.
contrast. Okay. Bernice sent in a piece, and she's just beginning. It looks like you got a nice gradation going on there. Bernice, are you here?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. You got a nice gradation going on there between the green to the violet, and you've blended it really nicely. I'm assuming that's acrylic, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. And then you've got your pencil sketch. So where are you going to go from here?
Well, actually, let me tell you this first. I actually did name my photo, my picture, but when I put it in email, somehow the name didn't come out. But I got more work to do on that. But back to the picture. Well, what I was trying to show in the picture was on the left side, the right side.
Mhm.
On the right side, I was trying to show that was a box of mask. And
Okay.
the mask, I say it's going to be a painting. The mask was like floating up through the rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
And when they got to the other to the left side, it was supposed to be a pot of gold flowers. So
Okay.
I think something you showed us a long time ago. Men had painted some stripes, and the stripes turned into birds.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to make the mask go around the rainbow and turn into flowers when they get to the end.
Okay. Yeah, I think what you're referring to is a print by M.C. Escher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where they started off as one thing and they ended up as birds.
Right.
Yeah,
And I really was trying to paint the gray at the gloomy, and the left side supposed to be yellow, but
Mhm.
you know, the gloomy gray going to the bright yellow on the left side. You
Okay.
know, with the mask going, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The mask going to the flower.
Okay.
Mhm.
So let me, just from what you've told me. All right. Actually, I like the color you have in the background, right?
Mhm.
And I wouldn't change that too much.
Okay.
And the reason I wouldn't change it is because that background is fairly neutral. When you
Mhm.
start putting color, particularly golds and yellows and things on top of it, they're going to have more contrast and they're going to show up,
Okay.
and be able to read pretty easily. If you make that background more yellow, then the colors are going to be so
Green.
similar that you're not going to have a lot of contrast there. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm
Okay.
actually okay with the color in the background. And it does get warmer from where if you're you're kind of doing this usually because we're in a Western society. You read from left to right, and
Oh, I got it back.
you've reversed it. So which is fine, nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that, because the other half of the world read basically from the right toward the left. And
Okay.
particularly if you come from an Asian background, Japanese, Chinese, basically that's what they do, is they
Jewish.
read from the right side to the left. Okay.
Okay.
So it's 6 of one, half dozen of another, but a lot of Western people will start over here on the left side, and it's like, okay, so these flowers, are they turning into masks? They would kind of read it that way.
Oh,
but
okay.
But it works. The concept works either way.
I was thinking since I had my rainbow smaller, it will automatically make you go to that side first.
Because it's smaller?
Yeah, because the rainbow is supposed to be getting smaller and smaller as it goes to the right side.
Uh-huh. Okay,
And I was
which
thinking
means,
that will make you see that is farther back or something.
right. So that kind of reinforces the idea that I'm going to start over here at the pot where the flowers are. See, because that's closer to me. See. But that's okay, not to worry. It's like I said, it still works either way.
Is that acrylic?
Yeah. And pencil so forth.
Yeah, and yeah, she just kind of sketched it out so far. And again, the way you've got it laid out, I think it's fine. I wouldn't worry too much about that. And if you are going to reduce the size of that rainbow as it goes back, make sure that, the distance, the width here is at least, maybe like 2/3 of the size of this, so that really visually, it does get smaller. If you make it something close, where they're almost the same, then it kind of flattens it out. Okay. But if this side is about 2/3 of that side, then you probably would read it as it's moving backward for you. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So just think about the change in scale between those two. All right.
Okay.
All right. So when are you going to have this done?
Friday.
You going to have it done Friday? Well, you don't.
I'm assuming since I got it drawn out, that once I get the paint on, the rainbow should be, except for making it 2/3 smaller, the rainbow should be fairly easy to do, shouldn't it?
Well, it might be a bit of a challenge, yeah.
Especially if I want to change the flower. Yeah, maybe next Friday. You think I'll send in what I have Friday.
Okay, yeah. Well, what I was going to say is, if you have it ready next week, yeah, we'd like to see kind of where you're at, whether you're finished or not. Okay. And if you think of it, as you're working along, if you want to take a picture, like at different stages, as you get things kind of, in position or built up, so people can see how you went about doing it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that would be a good thing to share with everybody. Okay. All right, moving on. We got a kangaroo. We've seen this guy before, but now somebody's added some collage elements to it. And so, Richard, are you here? Yep.
I'm here.
Okay. So tell us about Havana University and Arkansas. What is that all about?
That's a make-believe university that I talked with my granddaughter about.
Oh, okay.
And we have a bunch of crooks out there running that university, and we're talking about it. But this is one of the cheerleaders they have right there, because this is a official animal.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Okay. Now, is she old enough to go to a university?
oh yeah, she's a sophomore, junior now.
Okay. And is she going to Arkansas?
Well, she turned it down. She had a scholarship, but she didn't want to do it.
Okay.
She lives in New York, and she thought it was too far to go.
Okay. What is she studying?
Oh, she's studying the standard courses you get in freshman, sophomore years. So
Okay.
she hadn't specialized yet.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. And she got a scholarship to go to Arkansas, huh?
Well, that's Havana University in Arkansas.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that they had a Havana University in Arkansas, but
Well,
okay.
it's not real. It's just between us.
Oh, okay.
I love it.
The way it happened was people kept bothering us. Where are you going to college? What you going to do? And I suggested she make up a university, and then you could say, well, I'm going to Havana University. Oh, where is that? Never heard of it. Well, it's too bad. It's a good university.
Good job, Richard.
Okay.
That is so cute.
All right. All right.
They had a man who gave him $60 million to build a football stadium. That went bad, so they changed it to a preacher school. So they made it a prayer school.
Ah. Okay.
Very good, very good.
Comes into the
Oh.
university on a wing and a prayer.
Yeah. Does the Bible school or whatever, does it have a football team?
What?
Does it have a football team?
They did have, yeah.
Did they?
They
Okay.
did have.
Huh.
They,
Okay.
they had a degree in buffalo raising, so they named the team of the Arkansas Buffaloes.
I see.
They're famous for it.
Gotta love it. Gotta
right.
love it.
All right. God. Oh, I mean, yeah.
Richard, can you be my grandpa too?
Yeah. You're gonna have to write a small novel about that, Richard.
Well, they had the grandfather was president of the place, and the father was the chancellor, and
Mhm.
Junior was coming along, but
Was your animal a rat,
father was
a mouse?
the grandfather was put in jail because he was caressing the women too much.
Ah. Okay.
What kind of animal is this?
It's a kangaroo.
It's a kangaroo.
But look to me more than a cat than a kangaroo.
Kangaroo.
Your little baby in the pouch.
Brenda says it looks like a cat.
Kangaroo have 4 legs and
Yeah.
It's a kangaroo.
Well, how many cats have you seen, Armando, running around with the pouch with their kittens in the pouch?
well, that's what happened. You put a pouch, the cat is gonna run around. Yes.
Okay.
Well, I don't depend too much on authenticity, so
I wouldn't worry about it.
I wouldn't worry about it either.
Yeah. It's definitely got a story going on there, and yeah, I like that. Now,
It's a continuing story. We write letters back and forth all the time.
yeah.
Very good. Very
It's a
good.
good way to keep in touch with your grandchildren who don't have much to do with grandparents.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Keep
let
up
me
the
ask you
ball.
something, Richard. Okay. I mean, if I were going to go about doing something like this, and, you know, again, this is the difference between you and I, but, you know, rather than putting a white piece of paper down over there for the names, have you thought about trying to hand letter it?
I'm messy.
Okay. That's a pretty good answer.
I thought typing was more readable than my handwriting.
It would be. Okay.
See
Now-
down the bottom left corner,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
as you can see the quality of my printing, which is not very good.
Well, it's at least as good as mine.
Well, how about those? How about
I'll try it sometime.
letters that you can buy, that you can peel it up like an alphabet and paste it
Oh, yeah.
down?
Yeah, they have that, it's transfer type.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so you can actually get different sizes and different fonts of lettering,
Yeah.
and then you can rub it down on your piece, and that way you don't have the white background behind it. It's whatever the color of the paint is. You can get that in like a lot of graphic art stores. I don't know that you can get it at Hobby Lobby. You might, you know, they might have transfer lettering there. But I know that you can get it at, well, you can get it at Sam Flax, and I know you could probably get it at Binders. Okay.
Blick might have it.
Yeah, Blick might. They don't really, Blick doesn't specialize in graphic arts quite that much.
Well, I
Yeah.
wonder, does Walmart, you know, people who are in high school and all use a lot of that type of lettering. Do you think Walmart might have a
Yes, they do.
You might. Yeah, you might be able to find something like
Yeah,
that.
it's Walmart,
at
you go
Walmart.
to probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can either get those, and these you just burnish down. But you could probably also get those vinyl letters that you can peel up and stick down.
Yeah, they have both. They have the one you just rub off, and they also have the one you peel off and stick on.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
And the ones that you peel off and stick down actually come in different colors other than black.
Yes.
So you can, you know, you've got a variety of choice of color there. So anyhow,
I
but
want you to notice that Havana has an extra H on it.
it does. Yeah.
That's not so. It doesn't get mixed up with Havana,
Okay. All right.
which is a communist place. You don't like the communist thing, so
Watch out, it rhymes with banana.
That's right.
all right.
Yeah, there was a song in the 60s that did that whole rhyming song, thing. Okay. Anyway,
Good
but
job.
yeah, I think it's a great piece, you know. It's
Very good
it's a lot
job.
of fun. And it's nice that you're actually using, you know, artwork, you know, to kind of engage with your grandchildren too, you know, even though they are young adults, I would say, you know.
Well, she's 18 and 19 now, so then she
Mhm.
enjoys some jocular stuff and works all right.
Oh, good. Okay. Anyway, so Jane, I think this is the piece you were talking about, right?
It is, yes. It was really dark on that left-hand side in that first piece, the photograph. I took.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, when you photographed it, the light wasn't even. Okay.
Yeah, it was right.
Yeah, and see this, now did you go outside and photograph this?
Yes, I did. I went
Okay.
outside on a cloudy day.
And how about that? It worked out, didn't it?
It did work out well.
Okay. Yeah, there's something about trying to photograph your work with like a strong directional light, even like lamps and things that I have in the studio.
Right.
I mean, they're okay for doing like demos and stuff, but yeah, if you want a good photograph of your artwork that has good saturated color, yeah, outdoors in indirect diffuse light is really the best.
And sometimes the weather is not conducive to be outside, though.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, you know, depending on where you're at, I know that you live in like a assisted living or like in a senior community, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah, but don't they have outdoor spaces that you can go out and still be kind of away from everybody?
Well, you do have a little well, it's not a deck, a little area on the back of your apartment where you could, have a chair and a table out back. And
Oh,
the
okay.
weather's nice. But most of it, when you go outside, is an outdoor trail.
Uh-huh.
It's nothing really covered.
Okay.
And even, they have the, like a patio outside, it's not covered.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, it doesn't really have to be covered. It just has to,
No,
yeah,
but
you
there's
just
not
need
really
kind
no-
of indirect light.
Yeah. No, actually, I took that out on my balcony, out my door.
Yeah. And that worked out okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
The funny thing is, all the other pictures I took indoors, and it never had that darkness on it, but for this one, it did. It was really weird.
Yeah.
Because when I saw it on my camera, it didn't have the dark spot on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I send something, I never know if it's good or not.
Okay. But now you downloaded those images to your computer, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then you viewed them.
No, I just downloaded it on the email to you. I don't have it. Now I'm on the computer and I'm looking at it on the computer.
Okay.
When I looked at it after I took the picture, I took 2 pictures or 3 pictures and saw that which one that I thought was with more clarity, and I sent that one and deleted the other 2. But I
Okay.
don't have any of these pictures on my computer as a save. I don't know how to do it, so
Okay.
I'm not messing up.
Okay. Well, we have to get you.
Trying to get your program every on at 10 o'clock this morning didn't work out too well.
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna have to get you some computer lessons so that you get a little more savvy about saving images and things like that.
When you do that, send me a 6-year-old or a 4-year-old that I can.
Oh,
Don't get somebody.
Yeah.
All my grandchildren are over 21, so
Right.
they do it.
Okay.
This is how you do it, and by
Cool.
the time they zip it, I
Right.
don't know what they
Thank
did.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Well.
They do it so fast, you don't have a chance to picking it up.
Well, not
Right.
only that, but they all live thousands of miles from here now. Anyway.
No. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, if you get about a 10 or 12-year-old,
Yeah.
that's perfect. I mean, they're old enough that they can clearly communicate with you about what they're doing, and they still seem to have a little bit of patience.
Well, I don't know. When my grandson was like 6 or 7 or 10, he wanted to get through with it and get out and go play.
Right. Yeah.
They're not interested in sticking with you till you learn something because I'm very slow.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't feel bad. I'm slow too.
Well, it's not a race; it's a journey. So,
Oh no, I know that.
yeah,
It's
you
a race I can't enter.
uh-huh.
It's
But
the
yeah,
calendar.
you move at your own rate.
That's it.
Anyhow, so this is ladies. She sent in 3 pieces. 3 photos.
Should have been 4.
Okay, well, I only got 3.
Yeah. I had, when I was sending it in, I accidentally sent an email before I finished my explanation. So, but
Okay.
we can go forward. Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. So I'm not quite sure what this is.
Okay. That's a fabric boat. That's why I didn't finish the email. If you don't know.
Okay.
That is a circular fabric boat, and
Mhm.
it's 63 inches long, and usually upholstery fabric is on it, so it's thicker cardboard and heavier.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so what
And
is
this
it that you call, what do you call those sketches that you make before you do the actual picture? What do you call a study?
Or thumbnails, study. Yeah.
Okay, so this is my official first study. My goal is I have 2 more of these boats, and I'm actually going to go get a few more. And they're going to just be colorful sticks in my apartment in that corner. So I just started with that, the black and white one first.
Mhm.
Actually, the black part was mostly white, I was trying different paints with and without gesso.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why it was so funny. We talked about gesso today.
Yeah.
And so the black paint adhered perfectly well without gesso. The white section has gesso on it. And so I'm just trying to see what that piece of cardboard will stand, which will take.
Okay.
And that's what I'm doing. I'm going to put, I'm going to cut out little pieces of colorful paper, and I am going to put it all over that stick. So we're going to see what it comes out to be.
So you're actually going to be collaging pieces onto it.
That I'm going to be collaging pieces on there. That's right.
Okay. All right. And now when you say a bolt, is it more like a round tube, or is it that kind of
It's down to.
Yeah, it is a tube. And again, large pieces of, long pieces of upholstery fabric. You know, upholstery fabric is heavier than a piece of
thicker? Right.
Right. So this is a round tube. It's about 2 inches in diameter, but it's heavy. It might weigh a half a pound.
Okay.
And you have large bolts of fabric wrapped around it.
Yeah, going around it. Okay.
Yes. And actually, I have it standing inside of a Halloween bucket that has cement and a piece of PVC pipe in the center as my easel. So it's not that tall. I can take it out of there and paint on it, but it's perfect to put the tube in there, so I have a place to paint.
Okay. Yeah, and that way you can kind of work all the way around it.
Yes.
Paint it.
Without it, laying on a table and paint everywhere. Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't you just paint different colors on this and make a painting, an abstract type of painting, instead of gluing all the pieces of paper down with the different colors?
Well, I have 2 more, Jean, and I'm going to paint each one a different color. This was just to see how the paint was going to adhere on that thicker piece of cardboard, that tube. And
but
so
I'm saying, instead of pasting paper down with different colors on it, why not just do a abstract painting like on top of it?
Well, I'm going to do paper because I don't know if you remember, I got about 15 or 20 wallpaper books.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I know why you're doing paper. Okay.
Yes. Yes. She has material, and she's finding ways of using it.
Yes,
Yeah.
she is.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. So that's one project. And then you also sent these in.
Yes.
Okay. So tell me what's going on with these, okay? Because this looks more like the old boats that are a little flatter.
Right, exactly, they are. One of the ladies in this class, she was asking me she didn't know what a fabric boat was, and that was the reason why I sent it like that, so you can see, so if she's in the class, she can see it's a piece of cardboard, and more for an explanation. But I sent in this picture. This is my brother, Michael, and the other picture is a picture of his wife, Alexis. And what I'm going to do is an abstract collage for both of them for their home offices. And it's going to, and this is Naomi is my inspiration on this piece. So Naomi, I hope you're there. I'm going to, again, Jean, with pieces of cut paper, I'm going to color my brother's clothes, his glasses, my sister-in-law's hair, with their fraternity and sorority colors. My brother is a member of Omega Psi Phi, so their colors are purple and gold. And my sister-in-law is Delta Sigma Theta, so her colors are red and white. And I'm going to use the emblems and history and things like that to make an abstract collage for them to hang up in their offices at home.
It's going to be very nice. I can't wait to see it.
Good memory. Yeah, you're going to have to show us.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this piece, and then I guess this is your sister-in-law.
Yeah, that's my sister-in-law.
Okay. Now, one you seem to be doing vertical, the other you seem to be doing horizontal.
Yes, and the reason why is because of the size of the picture. you know, I asked my sister-in-law early one morning, Alexis, by any chance, could you have pictures of you, a picture of Michael that you can send? You know, my sister-in-law sent me like 10 headshots of herself. I'm like, ooh, somebody likes themselves. So she had all these pictures. And so I made copies of these pictures on my copy machine, and I cut them out. And, you know, I made sure it was big enough. I like the way it looked on hers, going vertical.
Okay.
You know, so I can kind of wrap a little bit of her hair around so it can go around the bow.
Right. Okay. Okay. I'm just kind of wondering, you know, it's like when you, all right. Are these going to be hung together?
No,
Separate
my
off.
brother has his
Individual.
office. My sister-in-law has her own office. So they both
Okay.
have their own
So
office.
they're not going to be put together as a pair.
No, they're not going to be put together as a pair. No.
Oh, okay.
Hi,
Alright.
lady. I want to say, this is Linda. I'm the one who asked you about this sport.
Yes,
which
about the boat. The
I
lady with,
I didn't. Yeah, I'm not a one that's sold, so I know nothing about it. Thank you.
right,
Mm.
I
right.
have a
That
question
is,
for you. I love what you are doing. So, what do you have this photo is that you printed it like a paper photo, and then you're going to paste it on it and
yes,
decorate it with all your materials.
yes. So again, Lynn, my sister-in-law sent pictures of herself, and I just printed them on my home printer. And then I cut it, I
Yes.
trimmed it down.
Mhm.
Okay. And so I trimmed it down.
Mhm.
So like, for example, her hair, and again, inspired by Naomi, her hair is going to be all different colors. I'm going to have little pieces of red and white paper, since that's the sorority color. I'm going to try to be ambitious to make her glasses red with little strips of paper. So it's going to be, I'm going to be cutting. That's what I did the whole month Charles was gone. I just started cutting paper. That's all I did for the entire month was cut. So so that's my goal, to do that. And that black thing around her neck, she took the picture in the car. So that's the seat belt. So I may,
I see.
Okay, yeah.
right. So I may take the seat belt and put the Greek letters going down the seat belt.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah.
put a ribbon and tie it around the neck. It would be nice.
Oh, a pretty red ribbon.
Don't
Thank
do it the other way.
you. Okay, that's
And
a
then
good
I
suggestion.
think your hair. I was just thinking, if you do it, no, instead of paper, you should, the wrapper where you can use a scissor and then you just pull it tight and it become a bit of a like curly, and you use that to put on top of her hair. It would be nice.
You said
I don't know how
ribbon?
to say it. No, whatever color you see there, her hair is so pretty and it's like spring out all this. So if you are going to paste the paper on it, it becomes too flat. It won't be nice. But if you, I don't know what you all call it, because when you do gift wrapping, right? You use that kind of a gift wrap string, and you normally use the end of the scissors and pull it.
Oh, I
Then
know what
the
you're talking
string will
about.
become
Yes,
curly.
yes.
Yeah,
What a
You're
big
talking about the
use
little
curly.
curly,
Like coiling
Yeah.
it.
Mm.
right, like coiling
Yes.
it up. Yes, I
And then
know.
you put it on top of the hair. I think it will be very pretty though.
Okay,
That's
That's
my thinking.
another good
You
suggestion.
can try it out.
Thanks for that good suggestion.
You're welcome. You're so good on that. I will try it out one day.
Okay, all righty. So that's the other picture there, Charles. All right, so you did get it.
Yeah, and the push pin and the
Yeah,
and then there's a hook for like picture.
yes, both of those are push pins. And I was showing those because for me, I try to create art that's made out of stuff that they would normally throw away.
Mhm.
It's cost effective. And I just simply love, I think it was Naomi once before, she said she loved a bargain. Well, I love a bargain too. And both of these are push pins. So most of the art hanging up in my apartment, I have it hanging up with push pins,
Right.
And the bolts are so light.
Mhm.
It's perfect. So the black one I found at a Dollar Tree. I'll go to a Dollar Tree anywhere in Metro Atlanta. You know, I've been known to go to Alabama's Dollar Tree. Trust me, they have a good, you know. And so it's a perfect push pin because it has that hook on it and it has the ball. So when I put an indentation in the back to hang it, it makes the artwork kind of tilt away from the wall, so it gives it yet another dimension. So it looks like it's coming towards you as it's hanging up on the wall.
Yeah, I was going to say the black one looks like it was really made for hanging.
My wife takes care of all that, Diane. Thank you for calling.
So, you know.
Yes.
So if you can, you know, and I think, like you said, you know, you're not hanging anything that has a lot of weight to it.
Right.
And so either of these, I think, would work fine. And even if you did hang something that was a little bit heavier, then what you would do is you would probably either double or these up.
Yeah.
You know, and then put a string or a wire on your piece on the back, and then run the string and the wire through these. You know.
See, Charles, you're making me do too much. Like Bernice, I don't work that hole. I put a hole in the back and hang it up.
Okay. All right. Well, you know, you know, necessity is the mother of invention, right?
Yes, she is. Yes, necessity is.
Yeah.
Yes,
and so if you run into a situation where, you know, you have something that, you know, has a little more weight to it, you know, you might actually have to break down and put a wire or a string on it, you know.
Yeah, I know.
It's
and
an
I have
option.
I have one more project that I'm working on. I have too many irons in the fire. If I don't get it done this weekend, it won't get done, is to make a new wreath for the front door for the holiday season. And go whole hog out front, you know. And that's my, if I don't do it by this weekend, it ain't gonna get done.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, I can't take any credit in that area. I'm not a big decorating guy around holidays and stuff. You know, fortunately, you know, I live with someone who absolutely loves Christmas, and you know, she can take all the stuff that I've collected over the years, and she can do just absolutely amazing things with it, you know. And she made, you know, put together a really beautiful wreath for the door, and the Christmas tree this year is just stunning, you know. You know, she has a good eye for, you know, color and, you know, proportion and shape and stuff. And I've got a picture of that. Maybe I'll show it to you guys later, because I have some pictures of it. But yeah, that's not my forte, you know. Luckily, there's somebody in my life who
can do it.
Good at that. Yeah. And it's kind of a shame, you know, because it's like the Christmas tree this year and all. It's like, you know, just taking little sections of that would make really beautiful paintings, you know, just all on its own, or the wreath and stuff. Anyway, I'll show you a little bit later on. So let's move on here. We're going to go down to Naomi. Naomi sent in quite a few pieces, actually. Naomi, you here?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
That's my neighbor's sheepdog.
Oh, okay. So he's is he an Australian?
He's the little ones. I don't know. Yeah. They're all black and white.
Yeah.
And they're very popular in my neighborhood now. They're very smart.
Yeah.
Australian sheepdogs, yeah.
He's cute. You've got a nice expression on his face. He looks like a happy guy. Then there's the multicolored elephant. Okay. So I like this guy. You know, I like where you're going with him. The thing I would say is, again, you know, like with your faces, it's like you really got to kind of look at the color and the value, both. Okay. And then, you know, place those colors in an appropriate place where you need that value. The color can really be anything, but I think Armando decided to go take a nap on us.
No, I'm watching you and listening.
I know.
But I'm comfortable here.
Yeah, laying there. And then it looks like you did a couple of landscapes down.
Which is not my thing.
Okay. Yeah.
I just did it because you said you were going to do landscapes, so I figured I would send in some.
Okay. Yeah. And were you here on Monday?
Yes, I was.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. Yeah, you did a couple of them. Now, are these kind of out of your head, or are these?
No.
Okay.
But
so
you know, when I see a painting, I interpret it my own way, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm inspired by a painting, and then I do my own thing from it.
You know, I would have never known that about you.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I've known you long enough. Okay. All right. But my question is this, Naomi. Okay. Did you actually like take these from a particular place?
No.
No.
This is that I saw these paintings, watercolor paintings, and this is very small. This is like a 4x6.
Okay. And so
and you know, I'm so frugal.
Yeah.
That if my painting is just okay, you know what I do? I do another painting on the back of the piece of paper.
Nothing wrong with that.
No?
Yeah.
You've heard of people doing that?
I do that.
No,
I'll do the same
you
thing.
know that they have frames now made out of acrylic that you could frame it and see
show both sides?
Both sides, yes.
Yeah, you could.
So there are a lot of people that do that, whether they're frugal or not.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
But,
I'm not so crazy.
No.
Not crazy.
No, if you were going for crazy, you haven't quite hit it yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. And then, you know, we start with your favorite subject, which is, you know, women's faces. And these are getting better, Naomi.
Thank you.
You know, little by little, you know, I'm just going to kind of run through the series.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But little by little, you know, you had kind of a issue with trying to get all the features aligned, right? And little by little, you're getting there. You know, they're lining up better. The proportions are, you know, getting more credible, you know, and they're beginning to look more like people, right? This one in particular, I thought you did a really nice job. And it's a really
I did many layers on this.
Uh-huh. And
If I make a mistake, then I keep going over it with my watercolor.
Okay.
But in 2 weeks, I'm going to do the acrylic.
Okay. All right. But, you know, I mean, this is kind of a real subtle, kind of subdued piece. It's got a really nice feeling, you know, even though it's real subdued, it's got a lot of color and stuff in it. But that piece, yeah, I think I like that piece and this piece.
Oh, you forgot to go with my lady with the hat.
No, we looked at her briefly. Yeah.
There's Naomi.
Yeah. But again, you know, I mean, you're improving by doing
Well,
it.
that's my goal.
Yeah. And, you know, they all have kind of nice expressions on them. You know, the features are beginning to line up a little bit better. So keep working at those. You know?
Oh, thank you. I'm going to surprise you with my acrylic, though. My acrylic, they're large paintings.
Okay. All right. Hey, I'm open to surprises. It's okay.
And I like what you said this morning. I learned something that you said, put the, what do you call that, base on it?
Gesso.
Oh, the gesso.
Gesso. To do the gesso, because you know I like dimension. And you, two things, the dimension, and then you said it's cheaper than paint. So I like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna work on that.
Okay. Yeah, and if we get around to these videos, actually he talks about modeling paste and gesso and different materials that you can work with. Anyway, then we have the last piece that somebody sent in, and this is Wanda. And so Wanda, tell me about, now this is what was it for Little Sis, and this is your is
Yes.
this your mother?
No. It was just a woman that I wanted to draw a picture for my sister.
Oh, okay.
Because she just moved upstairs over my mom since my brother's not there any longer. And so I wanted to give her something before I left. And so that night I drew this lady, and I didn't have any paint or anything. So I ran to the store and got some color markers and some brown pom-poms to make the hair.
Oh.
And I just sort of like threw it together, and she loves it. So I was just happy that I made it for her.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
very
I hadn't quite gotten, up until you mentioned it, the fact that the hair is actually three-dimensional.
Yeah.
Because it's so dark that it looks kind of like a painted on or flat surface. But
Oh, okay.
I see the cast shadow on it now, and so okay.
I love the way that sweater looks. You can almost feel like you need to rub it, like it's so fluffy.
Yeah, I was trying to do that with the colors, with the markers, and leave some kind of design on there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to work pretty fast because I wanted to finish it. It was like 2:00 in the morning when I was doing it.
Mm.
You did the whole thing?
Yeah, I did the whole thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, how big is this?
That's 12 by 16.
Okay. Yeah, so kind of, like small to medium size.
Yeah.
So I want to compliment you, working with markers.
Yeah.
You got some nice, even, layers of color on there. And that's not an easy thing to do with markers. So you handled that pretty well.
Oh,
and the
thanks.
composition and the design, itself is really nice. It's kind of interesting that you chose to put it in an oval like that. Any particular reason why you did that?
Well, when I was doing the markers, they're washable markers.
Mm-hmm.
So as I was putting them on, I didn't like the way it was coming out. So I sort of like took a cloth and like rubbed around the edge, the pink part.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, I don't like the way that looks. So then I decided to put some black trimming on it, to make it look a little more neater.
Okay.
And it just came out like that. So I said, you know what? Let me leave well enough alone because I didn't have that much time to work on it.
Mm-hmm.
Or it looks like she's standing in, looking at something, and there's a mirror beside her. So actually, a side view of her looks like she's, in the mirror.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's It kind of reminds me of like, a lot of these, old turn of the century photographs.
Mm-hmm.
They would have them in a kind of a rectangular format, but then within that rectangular format, they would put a border, and it would usually be kind of like an oval or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it a kind of a very traditional feeling piece, in that sense. And yet, it's still very kind of contemporary drawing, and the lady herself is dressed, really from this century, and so there's kind of a nice play there.
We'll make a special plea to him.
What kind of traditional and contemporary. But it's a nice piece, Wanda.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
I have a
enjoyed
question
doing
for
it.
you, Wanda.
Yeah.
Is there anything else on this piece that is a texture? Because it looks like you put like real eyelashes and the border around the sweater. Is that all just in the gold bracelet? Is that all flat paint, or is it actually fabric or something else?
No, everything, only thing on here that's not paint marker is the hair.
Mm-hmm.
What I did with the bracelets, I took some flour and sort of like
There may be other places to take it than where you're talking about.
yeah, I took some flour and some food coloring
Oh,
and a little bit of oil and just made a little bit of it, and I just colored it and just
Yeah,
put these things so it looked like it rises up a little bit.
So you actually use baking powder, powder
No.
that you're going to bake with, like
No,
flour. I'm sorry.
Yeah, flour, yeah, just a little bit of it, just to make a little paste.
Hmm.
And put some food coloring in there and some oil, cooking oil actually, and just put it to give it a shine.
Mhm.
And that's what I put on. Then I dabbed it on there, a little bit at a time. Just dabbed it on there. It came out pretty nice.
Okay, so Wanda,
But the hair is
when were you
brown pom poms.
Wanda, when were you going to tell us you did that? Because see, that's very creative.
Well, I didn't want to go out and buy more paint when I had paint at home. So I didn't want to buy more paint. And like I said, it was when I decided to do this, it probably was around 12 o'clock midnight
no, I think
when I started drawing this.
No, I'm talking about the fact that you use something like flour.
Oh, yes, yes.
Paste.
Were you going to keep that little secret to
Oh.
yourself?
Actually, I hadn't really thought about it until you brought it up. I said, oh yeah, I did use flour and stuff. It was just something last minute thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
And I had to mix it a couple of times to get the shine that I wanted. And it came
it's
pretty
like,
good.
duh, Wanda, that's
Yeah.
amazing. I would
Yeah,
never
thank
do
you.
that.
Yeah. So, but the pom poms, I just saw them. I said, this looks like it could be an afro. Let me take this home. And I got the idea from you about using the Q-tips to make the design. So I made the design on the collar with the Q-tips.
You see, Wanda, you
Yeah.
use all these things. You got to tell us this.
But yeah, you gave me that idea. So let me try that.
How about the sweater? That looks textured as
I
well.
love that
No,
sweater.
that's blue a color pen. It's washable color markers. And I did it line by line and made sure I went under each line so it would start another one.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, you
Okay,
did it-
so now, Charles, how would she try to preserve this piece? Because my thing is, will a flower deteriorate and mess her picture up? Is that could she spray that with like a spray vinyl or something?
I had thought about that.
Well, actually, yeah. I don't know what was this actually done on. Was it like a piece of watercolor paper, or what kind of paper was it?
No, that's a canvas.
Or canvas.
Oh,
Canvas. It was a canvas that I had there from some years ago.
Okay.
And so my mother's kitchen was being painted. So
Mhm.
I asked the guys for a cup of paint.
Okay.
And that's what I painted over what I had drawn on there before, which really wasn't nothing.
Okay. So you had some like white house paint or whatever.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. It's opaque, and then you worked over that.
Mhm.
So if it is on a canvas is
Okay.
still a little bit flexible, and at some point, that flower might get a little bit brittle and start
Okay.
chipping off.
Yeah.
But what you can do is, if you get some clear acrylic spray,
Mhm.
you can lay this flat, and you don't want to get it like real wet, because again, these washable markers, they might
Yeah.
react to it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what I would do is I just put like light coats, just put a coat on, let it dry. And once it's dry, come back the other direction, put another coat on. And, you might have to put like 6 to 10 coats on there, just real.
Well, I'm wondering, can we use clear fingernail polish? Because see, I don't have the picture. It's in Buffalo with my sister.
Yeah, in Buffalo. Oh yeah.
I think
Yeah.
you
So-
can. You
Uh,
can use the clear nail polish
nail
on it.
polish?
It will
Hairspray.
harden out and it will not come out.
Okay,
How
so
about
clear
that?
nail
Sure.
polish.
Yeah, you could use something like that. Now,
Okay.
the nail polish is going to be kind of glossy.
What
Oh.
about hairspray, Charles?
Well, I
The
think
clear
that's
one is
okay
not glossy.
because the bracelet is supposed to be gold, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that would work. Yeah.
Would hairspray work?
No, I
Smelly.
don't think in this case.
Yeah.
Because, the idea behind the clear acrylic is that it would create a film that would kind of lock it in place
Okay.
and seal it from moisture or anything. So it would keep it from, drying out and becoming brittle and falling off.
Okay.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about nail polish, but that might work.
I'll tell her that. So
Okay.
that she can put that on there.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't used nail polish myself, so,
Okay.
and see, I was thinking about taking and putting like a clear acrylic spray over the whole piece,
Okay.
so that the finish of the piece is all consistent and even.
Well, what about the pom-poms?
You'd have to cover that up.
Okay.
Well, you could, but I think spraying clear acrylic over it, again, it would make it stiff,
Mm-hmm.
but it would still seal it, and I think it would be okay. You'd still know
Okay.
what it was. It's not going to make it not three-dimensional.
Right.
Um,
Right. Okay.
Well, I think the pom-pom
I'll
should
tell
just
her.
leave it as what it is. No,
Uh-huh.
no spray or not. You shouldn't spray anything on the pom-pom. Then it will last for a while, for a long time. But if you spray something on it, the pom-pom will become like so stiff and hard. It won't be nice.
Right.
Okay.
I would leave just the pom-pom aside.
Yeah, I would leave the pom-poms aside too, but what I think I would do, Charles and Wanda, I wouldn't spray it from the front, I would spray it from the back because it is a water markers.
Right.
So I
right.
would get a spray, like an acrylic spray, and I
Yeah.
would lightly start spraying the back of it. And it
Okay.
would absorb to the front, so it won't be directly
Yeah.
on top of the color marker.
Okay. Okay.
What would be the
You got to remember, you're talking to me, but the picture's not with me. It's with my sister.
Right.
She has no idea about stuff like this.
Yeah, I'm just kind of wondering how would it help to spray from the back side though?
If it's a canvas, I would spray it from the back because you wouldn't, because it's water markers
Yeah.
and the acrylic is, by it being wet, it
Mhm.
may distort her picture. So if I would start
Oh.
spraying it from the back first to see what it looks like, just to make sure that it would adhere.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay.
See, that's, I would hold it up and spray it from the back first and then look at it
Yeah.
Yeah.
instead of direct.
I think with my sister's talent, we better go with the fingernail polish on the bracelet and leave it at that because she's never drawn anything or painted anything. So
Yeah.
I would, try to explain her to do this. She'd be like saying, "What?
Yeah.
Do what?"
Well, you've given us a conundrum here. We might have to consult, like a art preservationist.
Just
Yeah.
say Google, there's gonna be all kinds of information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, one, since everything else is so interesting, what is the earring made from?
The same thing I did the bracelet.
Oh, okay.
I drew the earring on there and I took what was left and I dabbed it with a Q-tip and put that on there. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
It was
Well-
fun doing.
Yeah.
It's fun looking at it.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
I think the next one I'll do, I have more time to work on it and really make it much nicer.
Okay.
A
So question.
fixative, would that work to stabilize the picture?
I didn't hear the question.
Fixative. What about a fixative? Would that help to stabilize those colors on the picture that they use like for charcoal or?
Yeah,
other-
well, that's basically what that clear acrylic spray would do. Seal it and, basically preserve it. And the spray is not water-based.
It's not?
Yeah. So I don't think it's going to affect the marker, but I would still be cautious with it, and I would just put like a light coat down and then let that dry before I put another coat over it and just build it up slowly. And that way, you're not going to get it so wet that the marker is going to start dissolving and traveling,
Maybe you can do that on your next visit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I think if I tell my sister to go to Michael's and I can tell her what she can pick up, she'll probably be able to do it that way. we'll have to
Do a Zoom.
FaceTime each other so I can show her, how to do it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's just, my only thing would be if she did spray it, just tell her she's going to have to be patient a little at a time.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's really easy while you're standing there, like, I'll put a little more on there. So,
been there, done that.
yeah. No, nobody's ever, had any kind of tragedies happen with that. So, anyway, so I got a question for you. It's actually 3:11 now. Do you guys want to watch one of those videos, or do you guys have to go somewhere? Or
Well, I gotta go walk a dog, so I won't be able to see it.
Yeah, I have to go to.
okay, well, all right. So maybe I'll save that for like Friday or something like that then. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Even though we'll be talking mainly about drawing, but
Can
this,
I ask you a question?
sure, of course you can.
Okay, did you receive my painting? This one, it looked like the orange, a lot of orange.
Oh, we thought
Yeah,
that.
we
Yeah,
did.
we talked about that last time.
We
Yeah,
thought
we-
it was one.
well-
I'm
Yeah, a while ago. Yeah, quite a while ago. But I'm taking it that you were not around for that.
No, I couldn't get in. I couldn't get on the computer Monday. And
Okay.
that must have been when you showed it.
No, I think it was
No,
last
it was before,
Mhm.
before the holidays and all that stuff.
Oh,
But I'll go back and I'll pull it, and we'll talk about it on Monday, okay?
okay.
Or either Monday or Wednesday, okay?
Okay.
But
Charles,
all right.
did you get my painting? Landscape.
And when did you send it?
Monday, Tuesday, last.
I thought I'd seen something from you. Okay, I'll look around. Okay, and see.
Okay, I sent the one painting and the 4 sketch.
Yeah, the drawings. Yeah, actually, I think we talked about those last week.
No, last week we didn't have the class.
Well, no, the week before.
Before last week, I
Yeah.
didn't send.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, I'll go back and look and see. All right, but yeah, if they're out there, I'll find them. And if not,
Okay.
I'll get you
Thank
to send
you.
them again. All right.
Okay.
Charles, I have something to ask you.
Yes.
Since I will be missing some of the morning class, and the recorded video can be watched where? I couldn't find it though.
Well, you'll be able to see it on YouTube. Now, you're not going to be able to see it like the next day or anything. It takes them about 2 to 3 weeks to get things up.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
So under YouTube, what is the name that I have to look it out for?
Go to Fulton County Senior Services. And
Fulton County Senior Services.
yeah.
Mhm.
right. Fulton County Department of Senior Services, and they have a whole series of videos, of all the classes, and then you can kind of look through there and find mine, as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'm probably going to miss most morning classes and can only join the afternoon.
Okay.
That's why I need to watch them.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Why you're playing tennis, right?
Pickleball.
You what?
Pickleball.
Oh, kickball. You're playing kickball.
Pickleball.
What is that?
Right.
That
What
is
is
a
that?
game like tennis, but it's actually between tennis, badminton, and table tennis.
Okay. All right. Is
Yeah.
that every morning that you're doing that?
Almost every morning, and I go with my husband. And at one time, I wanted to bring my iPad to do it there, but it is so difficult, though. Like
Right.
you're playing halfway, and then where to stop, and then your mind is not there. So
Uh-huh.
I find it difficult unless I can come back early. I didn't want to play it there at all. The video.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So whenever I'm not there, I'll be able to be on the class.
Okay. All right. Well, hey.
Afternoon, I'm no problem, but only morning I have a problem.
Well, we're going to be here, up until the end of the year. We're going to miss a couple of days right around Christmas, but other than that, we should be we should be good to go. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I guess I'll say goodbye to everybody for today, and then
Goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Friday.
Thank you.
Okay, Friday
See
morning
y'all.
we have a class at 10. That's the drawing techniques, and I'll be presenting some material about trying to use different types of drawing media, both wet and dry. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
All
Good
right.
night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Take
Bye
care.
bye,
Thank you,
everybody.
bye.
See you
All
all
right, bye,
Friday.
everybody.
Have a good night.
You as well.